Hey guys, welcome back to Sweetwater Acres. My name is Boone. For those of you that are new to the channel, this is kind of a jack of all trades channel. We've got videos covering dogs, breeding and raising and training dogs. We've got a lot of homesteading videos. We've got chickens and ducks and cows and gardening, fruit orchard. We've got a bunch of fruit bushes and fruit trees. Baking, canning, you name it, we do it here. We also get into some hunting and fishing on here as well. So it's a jack of all trades, definitely a master of none. But before, what I think today's video is going to be is spring prep, and we are just going to be getting our garden ready, moving locations. Before I get into that more, I've got a few ducklings back here that we purchased from our local Tractor Supply, and we need to clean out their brooder. As you can see, I tried to maintain the water. They are very messy. So I tried to maintain the water with that little bowl around their water, and it's helped. You can see there's water in there. But as you can also see, it is just a sopping wet pile of shavings around the bowl. So I am going to need to clean that out for them. It is getting colder. Iowa weather, it was in the 70s. Now it's getting back down into below freezing temperatures overnight, and I think actually we're going to get snow again in the next 6 to 7 days, and we're not going to see above freezing for at least 48 hours coming up here. So I got to make sure that they aren't getting too cold and wet in here when it gets this cold. This part of my shop is not insulated. There's no heat. So this heat lamp down here is the only form of heat that they have, and it keeps them pretty warm. I lowered it down. They're getting bigger too, so they're getting more body heat. Their feathers should be thickening up a little bit, but just want to make sure that they keep it clean in here. So let's clean this out, and then we got to get to the garden before it gets too windy today. I want to get that mat down, the heavy plastic, put weights on it. We have a bunch of brick pavers, tile pavers and stuff, so we got to get those in there before it gets super windy today. And I just dump everything right into a bucket. Water, shavings and all. The shavings will soak up any of that extra water, and then I just go dump it on the compost pile. And this is just a brooder that I built, actually. This was from an old farm implement store that Tractor Supply actually bought out. It's called Orscheln's. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them. But they had these old boxes that almost look like nesting boxes, and I don't know if you can see me or not, but they were old they put tools and stuff in there, gloves, mittens, things like that, cheap stuff. It was like the $1 bins you could go to, and when Tractor Supply bought them out, they were selling them, so we picked them up really cheap and was able to make a couple brooders out of them, and I actually built my nest boxes out of them too. But I think it's almost time for an upgrade on those nest boxes, because I think I want roll-away nest boxes, make it a little bit easier to keep the eggs clean and to keep the chickens from getting too messy in those nest boxes. But we are about done here. Food back in there. And then hopefully this keeps working the way I hope it is. And then I just keep a 5-gallon bucket of water right here and just fill this water up for them. Put that in there. Put the yard on top. And voila, we are set up and ready to go. New shavings, they're already bedded down in them. Now on to the garden. And I'm running out of GoPro battery too, so I need to hustle. This will be a quick video here. So let's get going. All right, so I'm gonna try to do this as quickly as possible because I need to get in, get to work and all that fun stuff. But I got all of the plastic drug out here. You can see, I'll switch this around. I used to have the garden out here, and there's some videos I posted, I think they were shorts, of us running the plow through that stuff. I had it out there. It was in a good spot, got a lot of sun, but I had to use my own fencing all the way around, and it's just kind of far. My only water source is up there by the house, if you can kind of see it in line with my truck there. So I have to run a hose all the way out here, one, to water the chickens anyways, but then to reach all the way to the far end, I just needed a lot of hose. So to combat that, I'm gonna move it over here, so I can use this fence to save me some fencing, and then obviously don't have to use a lot of hose. And if you can tell here, I'm doubled up on fencing because my chickens like to get out. They weave through, you know, these holes and get out in the yard, and sometimes that's all right. Sometimes I want them to get out, but a lot of the times I don't. I just want them contained out here. So I'm hoping that moving the garden and putting the garden fence up in this area will help contain them into the chicken yard even more. But I am going to get the plastic rolled out. I'm trying to figure out how far. It's pretty flat right here, but I would like to get it rolled out so this grass can start dying off, and that way we can plow it with the tractor here in probably about a month and start planting. I'm looking forward to it. We didn't plant a big garden last year because we just had a baby, so we knew our time was going to be limited. So we didn't do a whole lot, just some tomatoes and peppers, and I tried to do a little Indian corn. None of that really took very well. The tomatoes did all right, but I'm hoping this year we can prep it a little bit better, put some lime down, do some good fertilizing, and have a big garden. We've got a bunch of these old brick pavers that we're going to use to hold down the plastic because it's supposed to get really windy today. so this is going to be the garden. Those will not be staying there. That's just, I'm trying to keep it along the fence and along these hay bales just for the wind until we can get compost and dirt inside of them to hold them down. I'm really worried about this white one blowing away. I might have to come, I don't know, somehow weight it down. But yeah, this is roughly the layout. It's going to be along the fence here. The sun will be getting higher in the summer, so I'm not too worried about the shade right now. In the summer, these will be getting, these plants will be getting full sun. But yeah, we'll probably move those over here, try to square this out. I had a little bit of landscaping cloth. I'll probably go get some more and maybe try to make it a little more square, at least come over here. But no, we're gonna use those as planters. I actually found 2 more really old water tanks. One's on my property and one's on a neighboring property, so I'm gonna go see if I can't snag those at some point. But yeah, this is what it's gonna be. We're gonna fence it around. Water will be able to get to it really easy. We almost could water it not even crossing the fence, so that's gonna be awesome. But yeah, so that is garden setup number 1 for the spring, or spring setup number 1, getting the garden ready. I've been needing to do this. It's been super windy lately, so I haven't been able to get this stuff down. And even later, even in a couple hours, the wind's supposed to pick up, so I'll have to run out here and make sure all of my work isn't blown into the neighbor's cornfield. But thanks for following along, guys. Kind of a bland video, just checking the ducklings and getting the garden ready. If you guys have any tips and tricks on getting your gardens ready, please leave them in the comments. That help me out a bunch. I'm just kind of ad-libbing here over the years, figuring out what works best here. Another video is that I'm going to be making soon is I have a hornet's nest back here in one of these pastures up in the tree, and I'm going to have to get that out. So that might be entertaining. You might be calling me, you know, Johnny Knoxville or somebody, Steve-O. I'll see if I can't get that on camera too. So thanks for following along, guys. We'll see you on the next video.